Hello, everyone. You are here with one more Esports 101. Today, our guest is someone really special, Jonathan Chris. He's a senior partner manager in EMEA at Stream Hatch. Is correctly the pronunciation?
It
Stream,
is
ha-
Stream
Stream
Hatchet.
Hatch. Working the intersection of esports, gaming, and live stream analytics. So, thank you very much for accept your invite, Jonathan. Uh,
Thank you, Marcelo. Happy to be
Y-
here.
You're welcome. I did like this bad introduction, so no one better than you, Jonathan, to say for me who is Jonathan, how you started in this atmosphere.
Yeah, for sure. So basically, in my early days, I had actually a bachelor and a master's in electromechanical engineering, which I have no idea how I got into there. So I was just young. I didn't know what to study, and I was smart enough to get accepted in engineering, and I was too lazy to drop off, so I kind of finished the masters, and I got my my certificate, and then after that, I directly shifted away from engineering. So I went directly into business and sales. I was working actually in the West Africa with the French-speaking countries in Africa, doing sales there. And after that, I had my own company in Lebanon. So basically, I was the distributor of a Spanish product related to renewable energy.
Right.
And after a few years in Lebanon, there was this economical crisis, unfortunately, and I had to shut down my business. And after that, I was like, okay, Jonathan, now is the time to do a change. Now is the time to do something different in my career. And basically, this is when I'm like, okay, I want to follow my passion. I want to work something that I like. And the thing is that I was thinking, okay, what are my passions? And I have two passions in life. It's gaming and music. And because I used to produce music as well, I used to be a DJ as well.
Right.
And from my knowledge in the industry, this doesn't pay the bills. It's very hard, basically, to pay the bills from this industry. And I was lucky enough because I was doing research, and because back in the days, like esports was not still very popular. Nobody will go to university to study esports. And I was doing a research, and I found that there was a master's in Barcelona that was doing a master's about esports and gaming in collaboration with DreamHack. And I was like, wow, this is my opportunity. This is something real. This is something that I can basically benefit from to enter the space, because not a lot of people have done some education in esports. So directly I'm like, okay, I'm leaving my country, Lebanon, sadly, and I'm moving to Spain just for this masters. And the thing is that you met actually with Daniel yesterday on the podcast, and back in the days, actually Daniel was the director of this master. So that's how I actually met Daniel back in the days, and it was super interesting because I was all of my life a fan of gaming and esports, but I never had the opportunity to know what's happening behind the scenes. So what is really happening in this business? Like like every other person back in the days, esports is considered as, okay, you're playing a game on your phone, you're playing FIFA on the PlayStation, and that's it. And when I actually understood what's behind the scene, it's a whole new world. So it's basically, esports is like any other industry today. So you have like the food industry, you have the sport industry, and you have the esport industry. Like, the thing is that I learned is that to be part of the esports, you don't have to be a player, you don't have to be a coach, you don't have to be a team owner. You can just be a person like me that is doing partnership and sales. You can be a person that is doing marketing. You can be a person that is creating content. So yeah, like I don't know if I'm talking a lot about my introduction
No, of
or
course, it's part of the process. You said something really nice because it happens almost the same thing of me. I started my first university when I was young in information system,
Mhm.
uh, and in the first month or second month, something like that, I say like shit, I don't like this kind of things, because for me, information system, it was more about like internet and everything, and you have to code a lot, and I say, oh my god, this is not for me. But I was lazy because I say like, if I stop it now, I won't come back for the university. Then I talked to, in the time my dad was alive, and my uncle, he's really close to me, and he say, oh, why you don't do business? Because business is like a general, and you discover what you want. Then I did business just for to understand what I wanted in my life. So I graduated and understand that, okay, I want to do like managing or things like that. Uh, okay, I know that because you are something really similar in your career, but you say that you have two passions, gaming and song,
Music, yeah.
music. Uh, how you got passion for games? What did you play? I know before the game you were going to say there is a game that you played before or something like that.
Well, I was playing games since I was 3 years old, maybe. So, like back in the days when we used to play on the Atari and the Nintendo and the Sega. So I used to gather around with some friends, and I used to be competitive since I'm a kid. So even when playing Sonic on the Sega, I was competitive. So it was kind of a thing that I got hooked to since I'm a kid, and then especially when we started to having mobile phones. We started to play games on mobile phones, and I we used to go like because I grew up in Beirut, and in Beirut back in the days, like it was a privilege to have internet at home. So not everyone had internet at home. We used to have this type of dial internet where you had to stop your phone at home from working to be able to connect it to the internet. And I needed to fight with all my family to convince them that you are not allowed to use the phone because I want to go online. I want to play online. Like I remember, like we used to play Counter Strike online, like the very old version of Counter Strike.
Yes, 1.5.
Online. Exactly,
Yeah, 1.
exactly. And it was so bad because my internet was so slow and it was impossible to win any game. But I was still playing with, like, let's say, 1000 ping, let's say, if you
Yeah.
can imagine that. Like the second I got introduced to the online gaming, it was a whole new, how we say, a whole new sensation that we didn't feel when we were kids. Like we were always playing versus AI all of our life.
Yes.
And then online gaming started. It was like, wow, I'm playing versus someone real. And this is like a whole new excitement, if you want. And yeah, since then, like, after that, whenever when the internet got better, the PCs got better. Like I invested money on a gaming PC. Back in the days, gaming PC was not like today. 5090 RTX was just a PC that can launch the game and run it, and
Yes.
that's it. And yeah, like I always was like, the thing is that I don't like to play solo gaming. I always like to play with my friends, with people, meet people. Like for me, gaming is competitiveness, but at the same time, it's a cool way to meet new people. Like even sometimes I did business with people that I met through Dota 2, let's say. It's so funny because I met a person and then we catch up, and they work in a similar industry, and we met in real life in some conferences. So you never know where gaming can get you, honestly. Like I think you know already because we already had a chat in the past, but like
Yes.
I nearly got the stage where I reached pro level in Dota 2,
Yeah.
but I didn't have time to play 20 hours a day, to practice 20 hours a day. So I'm like, okay, I'm getting too old for this. So this is mainly not my career in gaming, but I do have like a background in business. Why don't I invest and use my background and my knowledge in business to learn more about it and to work inside it and to work in the business side of gaming, basically. And this is how I got. I got the excitement to basically. I actually sold my car in Lebanon
Right?
to be able to pay the tuition fees in the of the masters in Spain. And yeah, like from there started my journey in esports. If you want to ask how it started.
Yeah, it's going to be like the next question. But just before the question, you say something about make like some friends and make business with people in Dota 2. I'm going to do a shortcut about that for for sure. One of my best friends in real life, he was come from my team when I was in 2010. He was like an angel in that time. Everything that I needed in that time, I didn't speak English, so when I was at Pen Gaming, I he helped me a lot. I have like problems with my relationship. I usually call to him like, "Oh my god, this is my life is shit." So and nowadays he's living in the same city of me. In that time he was
Mhm.
in different city, and now he's of one of my best friends. All the time that you can shut up or just make some lunch or things like that. You know, this is this is something that I feel that this new generation doesn't understand. You know, you can do like a real life even though if you're playing Dota. You know, this is the good thing.
No, the new generation is all about toxicity in gaming. Like
Yeah.
I feel that everyone wants to be toxic. Like nobody wants to actually meet people in the game, which is
Yes.
sad. Yeah.
Yes, really sad. And you say that the part that how you entered in the esport industry, uh, you told me that you did a program in esports. I would like to do a double question. Let's say that. How was that for you? It was like you expected. What subjects you had, and what was how you is entering the sporting industry. Let's do this one too first. How you enter in the industry and how was the program for you?
Perfect. So talking about the program, like for me, it was one of the best experiences in my life because, like, first of all, it was a bit weird because I could never imagine myself at I was around 30 years old, let's say, and I was never imagining, okay, at 30 years old, I'm going back to a classroom and I will have a teacher and I will have next to me other students. For me, it was very weird. Like, wow, what am I doing here? And the interesting part was that it wasn't like high school, obviously. Like, I was enjoying going to the class every day. And the thing is that, like, I wasn't being like the teachers, they were not like people that had doctorate or like professional teachers. They were like industry professionals. So we had, let's say, people from DreamHack, people from ESL, people from Encon Games, like people from literally everywhere in the world. We had esport teams, esport tournament organizers, marketing agencies. Like literally, they actually showed us every angle of the esports industry, like every side of the esports industry. And the thing is that apart from obviously the main thing that I learned from this masters was networking. So I did have great connections with industry leaders. The other thing would be obviously like knowing deep insights about each side of the industry. So basically, because listening to the story from one part is not enough, but listening from people, from 10 different people that are doing 10 different things in esports, it's quite a different thing. And it also, this master opened up my eyes on how many job opportunities can be created in esports. Like as I mentioned in the past, like you have today people that are doing the same things that they do for any company, but for esports. So basically, like it's funny because today when I mention to someone like I work in the gaming and esports, they're like, ah, you create the games. No, I don't code the games. I don't play the games. I just do business in the industry. So this is something that some people do not understand if they are not educated enough about the industry. And the other point about the masters, like it was uh, pros and cons about this is it's basically that the pandemic just happened when I was during my masters. So the second half of the masters was moved to online masters instead. I mean, it was cool because I got to learn from my house, and at the same time, it was very cool because, as you know, like pandemic was one of the biggest boosts of the
Yes.
esports industry. Like I think that the gamers were the only ones that did not complain about pandemic. Like we have a
Exactly.
joke, me and my friends today, we say like I hope that there is a new pandemic coming soon so we can sit at home and play. Like it's sad, but it's funny at the same time. So yeah, in general, like the masters gave me a lot of networking, a lot of education, and it opened a lot of doors to me. And the thing is that how I started my career in esports, like directly after I finished the masters, I did two different internships. And also for me, like in the beginning, I was like, wow, this is something weird that at 30 years old I'm doing internship again. And my personal opinion, especially for esports, which is was, I would say, it's not new anymore, but which was a new industry,
Yeah.
like this is something that everyone needed to do, like workshops, education, internships, voluntary work, etc., etc., just to get your name out there, just to educate yourself, to let people know that you are in the esport, that you know about the esport industry.
Correct.
These were needed to be done. So that was like how I started. I was actually working in Barcelona. There was a company that opened a huge warehouse that was called the Big C. It's like Barcelona International Gaming Center, and it
If
was
I am
basically
not crazy, when Brazilians go to do a, how can I say, boot camp there, it's in big. It was in this one. I'm not sure, but
Exactly. It's the only one in Barcelona. It was
okay.
basically a huge esports arena,
Yeah,
and they
yeah,
did have also like a boot camping space, like with nutritionists, with high NPCs, etc., etc. So yeah, like we did have a lot of esport team come to do some boot camping. We also had like a collaboration with FC Barcelona even during this time, like. We did have some co-working spaces for esports and gaming companies. It was a big project. I'm not sure today what happened to this project. Like I didn't catch up with them for a while, but I don't think they are still operational for some reason. But yeah, like this mainly gave me a huge push in the industry. Like I learned a lot from this job. I met a lot of people. I met a lot of new contacts, and actually after that, I joined the company in Marbella in Spain as well. That was like they used to be it's called Nexum. They used to be like the experts of iGaming and gambling market, and basically I was hired to introduce the esports as a new unit within the company. So this was basically one of the biggest achievements for me. Like as starting in the industry, I was in a company opening up a new unit for them that they had no idea about. So I was
right.
basically introducing them to all of the esport teams, all of the esport tournament organizers, and we were basically helping those get new sponsors from brands. And during this time, like I did close some big deals with some high level streamers and some non-endemic brands as well. Like this is, since I mentioned non-endemic brands, like this is something that also I was surprised in the beginning, but now I know that it's a thing that a lot of brands that are sponsoring esports and that are
Yeah.
sponsoring streamers and gaming, they are not gaming brands, they are not esports brands, they are just cheese brands, pizza brand, restaurant brand, any type of brand today is wanting a piece of this cake. So because basically for them they understood that nobody is watching TV anymore. Nobody is listening to the radio anymore. Not nobody, but like a lot of people switched from watching the football to watching FIFA instead. You know,
Yeah. No, I,
and
I I would say like a lot of things about TV. Of course, I'm from internet, so I'm going to try to help internet, but there are a lot of things that it's not worth anymore for you. You try to do something in the TV. I don't know in Spain, but in Brazil, it's fucking expensive because the TV they got like a huge number of people. The second one, you don't know who is going to see your advertising. You can do like I don't know one advertising for moms, but you can watch me, you. That is okay. I'm not going to buy that. I don't have son, you know. Then if you go to the gaming or even though it's not gaming, like in YouTube or other channels, you know that this is your niche, you know. Uh, and just for try to do some chronological things. You did like the engineer, then you go to the sports program. There are, I imagine that there are what skills that you see that you learn it in engineer that you say like, okay, it wasn't what I liked engineer, but it helps me today.
Well, I would say the main thing that engineering told me would be like the way of thinking and the way of resolving problems. Like if you want to ask me now about the technical side of engineering, I will be straightforward with you. I don't know how to change the lamp if it breaks. So like it's a joke, but you know what I
Yeah,
mean.
I know,
So
I know,
I
I know.
have no idea about anything that I learned in the past, technically wise. Like it was so much complicated formulas, so much complicated education, but what I learned is how to adapt. Okay, this is complicated, I'm gonna solve it. I'm gonna study, I'm gonna do my research, and I'm gonna solve this. I have this super complicated project, I'm gonna do this project. So basically this is the main things that engineering taught me. If you want my personal opinion, if I go back in time, would I study engineering? I don't think so.
Yeah,
Like it's, I don't think that it was the perfect decision, but I do not regret at all that I did this education. So this is my personal opinion, and I would say, yeah, like that would be the main thing of how it helped me throughout my career, and even I would say throughout my personality and the way of working, the way of thinking, basically.
yeah. For example, I don't know in Europe. I'm really new about this education abroad. But for example, how old the year you are when you choose engineer? 18.
18 years old, yeah. I
It's the
studied
same in Brazil. It's
for
this.
6 years. I studied. Like I was
Yeah,
23 or 24 when I graduated. Yeah.
yeah, it's the same in Brazil. Like I know that is part of life. Life is not so easy, but they think that you are going to know what you want from your life with 18 years old. I don't know what I want from my life now. Imagine if when I was 18 years old, it was like impossible.
Yeah, for me this is the crazy part, and the thing is that, like, it's obvious, but when you are still less than 18 years old, you have a lot of influence from the family, from the parents, from your friends, like people telling you, like, hey, you do engineering, it's a good thing, like the rich people are engineers and are doctors and lawyers, but the thing is that we do not have enough education about how we say, like, to how to guide people on decisions when we are young in high school. Like
Right,
I think like back in the days that was lacking. I don't know today, maybe today they are doing a better job at this, but back in the days, if you are not studying engineering or business or whatever, like you are failing in your life, basically.
right,
So yeah, like I think, in my opinion, like I hope that today this has changed, especially like, in my opinion, all the education has to change today because of the AI. So so like, I have a lot of question marks. Like I don't know if we want to enter this topic of AI or not,
yes, yes.
but in my opinion, like the world is changing and the education should change with it.
In 2020, I told you like off that I did a second university, and one of the things that changed in my life in the second university it was that I had the opportunity to work with a company. The name is Edu Explora. What they does is basically they come to Brazil, get some students that they are in high level of studying, and bring them to have classes in these universities in America, like Yale, Harvard, MIT, this kind of schools. And I had the opportunity to do professional assistant in three programs of them. And one thing that I learned, even though before the AI, is that information is in the internet. So in our time, when the teacher was teaching, they should show you the information, and you have to understand how you apply that. Now it's different because, for example, I don't know if it's the same in English, but Bhaskara, like a mathematical formula, uh, okay, know the formal how to do is easy, but why you apply that? When you apply that? Because the information is there. If I want to say like AI, I don't know what Jonathan does, which is the next question. Like what is the partnership manager does in the real life? I can get in the AI, but okay, when I talk that, when I apply that, this is what makes different from our time than the time today.
Exactly, exactly. No, I completely agree. Like basically, like to answer your question, like what do I do right now? Like
Yeah, yeah.
basically, I'm managing everything related to partnerships and sales in Europe and Middle East for Stream Hatchet. And basically, like what Stream Hatchet does, basically, it's providing everything related to live streaming data and creator data, which includes streamers, content creators, and esport tournaments. So we do provide also live streaming data for esport tournaments and esport teams.
All
And
right.
the thing is that like we go as deep as like even analyzing like chat sentiments, who is mentioning this brand, how many times they are mentioning this brand, etc., etc. It's funny because like sometimes I'm speaking with brands and they tell me like, no, we never worked with any streamer before, so for sure nobody is mentioning us. And then I show them the numbers, and there's 1,000 people mentioning their brand in the chat for some reason. And this is basically like one interesting subject that we can talk about is that basically like because you mentioned before like the ads on the TV, nobody is watching them. Like why am I watching an ad for babies if I don't have a baby? And the thing is that like this is basically how everything in marketing is shifting right now from paid ads to organic ads. And the thing is that like for paid ads, basically like this used to happen also with streamers. Like there are a lot of paid streamers, I would say, nowadays,
Yes.
and most of them are like the streamers with the huge numbers, like the mega streamers, I would call them. And the thing is that like with this type of paid campaigns, like you do not see the authenticity. Like you do not feel that the streamer is really showing the value of your product. Like you feel that the streamer is a paid actor, so they paid him do this and this and that, and that's it. And I believe that nowadays, like the audience is kind of aware of these things. And like I will give you one example. Like how many percent of people have ad blockers on their PC?
I don't know, but many.
Uh, like anyone that I know had an ad blocker installed. They are for free. Everyone has them. Nobody wants to watch an ad today. And this is why, in my opinion, paid ads are not working nowadays as well. This is one of the reasons. Nobody wants to watch them. And they are not targeted well enough. They are not addressing the needs of the viewership, the pain of the viewership. And with the organic campaign, it's completely the opposite, because the guy is not paid money. Like the guy, maybe he gets offered the gaming mouse, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna try this mouse in front of the people. I'm gonna give my honest opinion about this mouse. Obviously, like there could be some sort of, hey, if you use my link you will get a discount and stuff like that. This for me is completely fine. This is still in the organic part of things. But like this, you will be able to see that, especially like if you really have how we say, like loyal audience, like people will know that this guy is not lying or this guy is lying,
Yes.
because sometimes this guy will say, hey, this game is complete bullshit, it's not a nice game, or this keyboard is bad. you know.
Yes.
He might say this, so people will know that whenever the guy say this mouse is good or this game I really enjoy it, it's a good thing. And I'll give you another example. So for publishers releasing new games, like I'll give you a concrete example because there's a new game that I tried that is called the Crimson Desert. I don't know if you heard about it.
Not yet.
It's a new open world game, and the thing is that you cannot imagine how overwhelming the game is at the beginning because there's a lot of things to do, like you don't know where to start. And the
Right.
thing is that like publishers, they are using streamers today. They are offering them like early access to the game to test the game and to also guide
The
the
public.
viewership, the public. Okay, like this is how you start. Oh, this is what you should which items you should sell, which item you should keep, etc., etc. So it's not anymore only about just putting the logo of the brand and paying money to the streamer, because like even the brands nowadays, they know that it doesn't work like this anymore. So this is where the importance of data come, basically. Like not only in esports, like to talk about esports, like basically the thing is that esports is maturing. Like it was back in the days. Like when I say back in the days, like let's say during COVID, it was a
Right.
hype. It was a hype. It wasn't like a real business yet. It was a hype. There was no such thing as esports World Cup. There was no like something that is like, okay, esports is a really big business opportunity. It was just a hype in the beginning. It was, how we say, it was Wild West. Like brands was just spending money to put a logo on a jersey and that's it. Or people were like, they see a streamer with 100K followers, they just put all their money on him. They don't know what results this streamer will do just because he has big numbers. The same for esport teams. And the thing is that like the brands now, they're getting smarter. So the publishers are getting smarter. So like all of them, they're showing, okay, I want to do this partnership with a team. I want to do this partnership with a streamer, but before I want to see the ROI. Like uh, when, how will I get my money back? How many people actually watch you? How many people engage with you? Like they don't care anymore about, okay, show me the number of followers that you have. You know, so
Yes.
it's shifting from vibes to data to numbers. So I would say like today esports, it became way more professional than it was 5 years ago. So yeah, like this is one part of the things like that I don't even remember what was the question that you
No,
asked,
that's
but
okay. No, I
we went to
understand. I
different
understand.
subjects. Yeah.
Uh, uh, you said a lot of things. Like I note here that it's interesting. The first one, it was about the way that marketing changed. I have the pleasure to work with a lot of people from marketing here in the podcast, like influencer market. Uh, and one thing that I worked with Gaules, he's a big streamer from Brazil, and that no one wants anymore is like the old way to do a marketing, like in the TV, like the one that he's, I don't know, eating a lunch, a sandwich, and he just bite the sandwich and say, delicious. You know, they want something that, even though sometimes you know that the influencer doesn't use these kind of things that he is using, like I don't know, you are going to do a marketing of Heineken, then you are not going to do a marketing there, you are going to put that in the live and he's going to drink in the middle of the live for pretend that he drinks. Sometimes he doesn't even drink Heineken, you know, he doesn't like Heineken, but it's something more, how can I say, organic, because people doesn't like anymore. And there are a lot of advertising here cases that they try to do things like that, like trying to do something that looks like it's not organic, and got the wrong way of the advertising. Instead of they got good feedback, they start say, he's trying to get money from us, blah blah blah, and things like that. I have one question for you, but before that, you have two interactions in the web chat. One is from Thiago, which I I hope that you are going to work together in a few weeks because you have a plan. But he say like, Jonathan, nice to meet you. A main short history. Unfortunately, I want to be able to stay in the whole live. But one of my dream is eventually create products that connect music and games in a, meaningful way. So maybe one day you can talk to him. You can do like something big together. He's like really good here. He works in a CBCS, which is like the national Brazilian tournament from CS. He's really huge. And I have one question from the public. I don't know if he's Turkish or if it's just his nickname, but the nickname is Turk. We, with live streams speed across Twitch, YouTube, Kik, and others, which metrics matters most when brands choose the right creator?
Well, first of all, like for Tiago, thank you for your comment. And the thing is that, like, just to answer Tiago quickly, like there's a lot of things happening already with the intersection of music and gaming and esports. So, like, there are games, for example, that are popular just because of the music that they have inside it.
Mm.
You know, so this is
You
something
play
that is
one in Super
already.
NES. I don't know if you play one. I forget the name. It was the car, just rock and roll. Have you played this one?
I
Is
don't remember.
okay. Go there. I'm going to find it and tell you.
Okay. So yeah, to answer Turk, like the thing is that it really depends on what you are looking for. Like there are some people that are calculating, let's say, like, my main interest is how many people hopped on the live stream. You know, there are other people that are interested on how many people hopped and stayed on the live stream, so stayed during the whole event or during the whole stream, how many people, let's say, are interacting in the chat. You know, so there are people
Mhm.
that want to look for creators that have, like, active chatters, so that have people that are chatting all the time. And there's also one thing, like, I'll give you this because it's something that we run into a lot while working with iGaming brands, like with gambling brands.
Yes.
Because you see that today that streamers, they are not streamers, like, gambling brands, they are sponsoring streamers to play their slots on Twitch and Kick, mainly on Kick. And the thing is that a lot of them are facing, and even with normal brands, a lot of them are facing something called view botting. So what view botting is, it's basically telling you not to look only on the views, because some people are actually paying for bots to come
A
and
lot
invade.
of people.
Exactly, they are paying for bots to come and invade the stream to show that, hey, I have a lot of viewers, like, pay for me and I will do you an ad, basically, or I will do a campaign with you. And in my opinion, this is the first thing that you should do before working with a streamer, like, to make sure that this guy has authentic and real audience. And basically, like, for example, we do provide a lot of metrics that can actually show you this view botting activity. Like, one of them is checking, like, we do provide, for example, a graph of the viewership by minute during the live stream. So basically, if a stream starts already with 10,000 viewers directly, this guy is view botting. Nobody starts their OBS and have 10,000 viewers the second they start. So this is obviously view botting, and also, like, measuring the activity of the chart. If it's going directly up 10K and then directly losing 10K viewers, this is also chat botting. So this is one thing. The other thing that I mentioned, which is the chat, for example, like, if someone has, let's say, 10,000 people watching him and has only 100 or even 1,000 people using the chat, there is something fishy here. So there is something that is wrong here. So this, in this case, most probably it's view botting as well. So this is why, like, I would like to answer your question by saying there is not a specific metric that matters. Like, really, it's a mix of all of the metrics in the end of the day, I would say.
Okay. Right, right. I'm going to ask one question that, if you don't want to answer, I understand. I strongly know I understand, which is you said something about a topic that I really enjoy, which is like people who is buying some robots to be in the live, some likes. when I was working in a company, I am not going to say the name, they recommend me to say that to buy this kind of things, like to buy viewers in YouTube. And I say, and for me, it doesn't make any sense because, like, okay, I can have, I don't know, a million of likes today if I have money to pay. But when I'm going to do the advertising for a company, especially in the beginning, most of them they are like giving you one, I don't know, K, and you have to sell something for them. For example, I'm going to work with Razer. It's hard you find, especially in the beginning, a partnership that they are going to pay me something. It's usually like I'm going to give you a K. Everyone who use your K to buy, you receive a money. So, and I'm going to show that I'm a fail, not fail, but like a fraud, because I have like a million people watch, but it's really two people. Do you have any case? Of course, please don't say the names. That it happens that you did some partner with someone, help someone to do a partner, and it was like robots or something like that.
Not in my history. Like I never faced issues like that. Like especially after I started working with data, like I'm super aware of these things. Like because before Stream Hatchet, I used to work at Streams Chart as well, which provided data, and like I'm pretty well educated on these things, and I do my best to avoid these things. Like, but even before I started working with data, I didn't have any type of campaign like that. But this is happening everywhere. Like I always see posts on my LinkedIn of brands complaining, like uh, like there's even now a website that is like a
Yeah.
community based. I forgot the website. I will send it to you later.
Okay.
It's a community-based website that is actually each one that finds someone that is doing the view botting, they report him there, and it's like, okay, don't work with this guy, you know. Like the thing is that we do that also on Stream Hatchet, but we do not provide this information publicly. So
No, of course.
the other one is mainly done just to roast these streamers, if you want.
Yeah. Other thing that I don't understand is that they think that we are stupid because like sometimes I have like a not program like a kind of content I think in the sports 101 that every Saturday I post like the news of the how can I say the esports.
Hmm.
And I try to get some influencers from Twitch that they are starting for giving them the opportunity to appear for big brands. And sometimes I join the live to what there are like I'm not kidding, 1,000 people watching, and you go to the chat, there is one person talking. You say
Hmm.
like, of course, like 99.9% of your public they are not chatting. Just one person is chat. It's of course you are buying some robots.
Mhm. No,
Of course, yeah.
I'll give you a concrete example. Like this example works even for the people that are not doesn't know about live streaming. Like just take an example of these influencers on Instagram. Like you see someone that has 200,000 followers or 1 million follower and that have on their posts 10 likes.
Hmm.
Like this happens a lot. Like if you have 200,000 followers, you should have at least 10,000 likes on each picture, you know, at least.
Talking about technical thing, of course you know much more than me. If I'm not crazy, the normal engagement is 1.5, right? If I'm not crazy.
uh, kind of.
Kind of.
Like there is no, I would say, agreed metric or agreed number, but
Uh,
this
uh,
is
i-
more or less, it should be something like this. Yeah.
in Brazil, you usually say that you have 1.5. So if he has 1 million, at least 15,000 likes he has to get. If he got 100 likes, it's something happened. Uh,
Hmm.
okay, keep talking about your career. Now you work with String Hat. Uh, for someone who is joining this life, everything, how do you explain the work that a String Hat does? If you can say I don't know something that makes it different from others, but what basically the question is what does string hatch does in the life today?
So yeah, like as I mentioned before, like Stream Hatchet, we basically provide all of the live streaming data about whether it's live streaming of like content creators slash streamers data, or if it's esport tournaments data or esport teams data. And basically, like everything that I just mentioned is basically like you have a brand, you want to work with a streamer. I don't know which streamer to work with. I can do a lot of research in the data and find, okay, this streamer is basically the streamer I'm looking for, because basically, like with our data, we do not just show data, we show like very modulated data that you can use filters to put in like exactly what you are looking for. So I'm looking for content creators that are based in Brazil, that are basically talking about food, or that are playing FPS games, or that are playing MOBA games, and that speaks Portuguese or that speaks French even.
French. Okay.
And you will be able to find all of these streamers basically. And there's a lot of ways to play with the data. There's a lot of use for the data. Like it's funny because like today I get this question a lot. Like people ask me, okay, who is today your target client for Stream Hatchet? And my answer is anybody. So anyone can literally use this data. Like we even have worked sometimes with freelancers that are doing some projects. We worked with universities, so universities can use our data to create a curriculum or to do a research about the live streaming market. We are working with consulting firms like BCG, Strategy and these consulting firms are using our data to help their clients in the esports and the gaming industry as well. Publishers, tournament organizers, esport teams, content creators, agencies, literally anyone that has a small interest in reaching the Gen Z and the millennials. This is the way to find the right person or the right team or the right tournament to sponsor basically.
Yeah, and I'm like doing my searching about the podcast that we're going to do, and I found that if I'm not crazy, Hatchet is going to expand or already expanded to the traditional sports, right?
Not really. So basically, what is happening is that we are expanding into the traditional social media, not the
Social
traditional
media.
sport.
Ah, okay, sorry, social media.
Yes. So basically, like today, instead of just searching for streamers, we are expanding the ability to search for content creators. So if you are, let's say, wanting to work with an Instagram person or a Twitter person or a TikTok person or whatever, like you will be able to find also the data of these content creators. Like this is something that we are launching very soon. So yeah, and like stay posted. Obviously I will put more details about it. Like also we just implemented a way to be able to contact the streamers and the content creators from the platform. So basically you find your creator, you directly message them from the platform, you run the campaign through the platform. So it's kind of
Oh,
all-in-one automated agency if you want basically.
it's not because you are my my friend and my, how can I say, my guest, but this is something really huge because one of the hardest things in marketing nowadays is getting answered by the influencers. If you can talk to him in the platform, it's going to help you. I don't know, at least get 15% faster than the usual. I know because sometimes I send some message for someone who is I want to be a guest, and he wants to be a guest because when I can talk to him, he accept. But until I got him, it's really hard. It's like 1 month, 2 months.
Yeah, I completely agree. And basically, like the thing is that, like first of all, the like it will take you some time to find his contact. It will take you some time because sometimes also he's working with an agency, and the agency will you need to find for which agency he's working with, to find the email of the agency to, and basically this is our main goal, to facilitate all of this circle. So you find a streamer, you send him a message. Obviously not every streamer will answer.
Of
Like
course.
this is normal as any type of outreach in general. But I would say it's an easy way to do all of the campaign from A to Z using just one platform instead of juggling between three, four different platforms and two different agencies.
Uh, I have one more question. Then I'm going to ask like the questions about advices. But now I imagine that there is a billion of contents or consumptions in the stream hatch. Uh, there is any kind of audience that the behavior of for a trend has surprised you. For example, one kind of, how can I explain, one kind of marketing or something that you say like, oh, it was a surprise for me.
Well, like I mean, it's not a surprise anymore, but in the beginning it was a big surprise for me, and it's actually like what's happening in Roblox right now. So
Huge.
no, because personally, when I tried to play these games, for me it was like, wow, this is like kids games, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy it at all. But then when I was watching the data, I was like, wow, like Roblox today is the number one in streaming
Yes.
on YouTube, on TikTok Live. Like a lot of the thing is that a lot of brands are doing what we call in-game advertisement. So they are creating word, because 3 years ago or 5 years ago there was this thing called metaverse, which was like the metaverse where you can create brands, and it was not easy for everyone to access this. And the thing is that what Roblox did is that, okay, anyone can kind of create a game and can do in-game advertisement and can promote a brand throughout a game or a challenge within Roblox. And a lot of people are playing those, and a lot of people are watching those, and I'm seeing a huge engagement, uh, like a lot of engagement within this type of streamers of Roblox especially. So yeah, like for me that was very surprising, but it's funny because this is where most of the brands are putting their money right now, in Roblox, in a game that looks like it's for 10 years old. It's funny.
Uh, you said about Roblox, and Roblox in Brazil, I usually to say is a kind of new word because
Hmm.
there are things that happens in Roblox that you don't see in any other games. The first one, I don't know if you were keeping like seeing that in the abroad, but there is a new law about gaming because of Roblox. Because Roblox
Hmm.
they have like unfortunately bad people doing bad things with kids in the game, and now you have like a, how can I say, like a category of age that you can get improving your shot. So I don't know the exactly thing, but for example, until 8 years old, you cannot talk in the website. After this kind, you can talk, but just with people of the same age. And the other thing that I say that it got surprised me is that I didn't know like you that Roblox was so big in Brazil too. Roblox was huge, and now that you have news law, uh, because of the, how can I say that you don't let the people say what you want. For example, the kids say what you want. For example,
Hmm.
if you say
Hmm.
like die in the chat, they cut. They are talking now. I'm not kidding. Do you know Morse code that you use
Hmm.
in the
Yeah,
ship?
yeah, 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 yeah.
They are using the AI, like the chat GPT, to write in the code, the Morse code, to talk about things that they want. I say like it's crazy. When I was 18 years old, the only thing that I used to do it was like eat sand, and now they are talking in Morse code. Is not normal. It's not normal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You never know what will happen in Roblox. Like maybe it's gonna become the new black market or something. So
Yeah. uh, okay, you are going to the last part of our podcast, which I have two questions that for us is the most important, which is kind of advices you give for people. And the first one I am going to ask because you did that. So I would like to know your opinion. For example, if I had 6 months to break into esports, in your case, you did one program, a master. Uh, what do you do now? When you where you advise someone to focus their energy?
well, like basically, I would say like in general, if you are really want to enter the esports industry, like the main thing that you need to know is to educate yourself. Like in terms of education, I'm not saying that you need to go to a university or whatever. Like as I mentioned, university was mainly about networking. It wasn't
Mhm.
only about education. Education, you can get it literally everywhere nowadays, especially that we mentioned AI, we mentioned the internet. You can really go into the web, read some articles, keep updated about news, know the industry very well. Like this is one thing that is very important. Like the second most important thing is networking. So basically, like, go to Gamescom, for example. Even if you are not working with the gaming industry, go to Gamescom to meet people, in the industry. Go to any other big esport events, let's say like IEM, or like back in the days they used to run it in Katowice. It used to be the biggest tournament. Today we have a lot of competition within Counter Strike, but still, like, go to any ESL, DreamHack event. Like, you will make a lot of new contacts. There will be a lot of companies that are even hiring there, that are looking for
Yes.
people to hire there. And like, one thing that I learned also, like, in terms of careers, I would say, like, if you are really actively looking for a job, like, don't do the mistake and only limit yourself to to LinkedIn, for example. Like I'll give you an example. Like, not all, but most of the jobs that I got in the past were not even posted on LinkedIn. Like, there are some companies that today they don't have a plan to hire someone, but when they see someone in the market that is gonna bring them a lot of value, they don't have any issue of even opening a new position just to get this person on board. So trust me, not all the jobs that you see on LinkedIn are the ones that you have to apply to. like this is the first thing. And education I mentioned as well, networking I mentioned as well. And try to define, like, esports is a huge industry. Like, as we already said in this podcast, like, don't say I want to work in esports. Say I want to work in marketing in esports. I want to work in organizing events in esports. I want to work for an esport team. Like, know exactly where you want to be in esports, so you know what to look for or where to look for as well.
Right. And the last question is, I think you are going to to answer the same thing, but let's see. Uh, what is one career mistake that you usually see people doing when they are starting?
Uh, One career mistake, like the thing is that, like, as I mentioned before in the past, like, for me, for example, like, I wouldn't call it a mistake. It's just that I studied something that I don't really like, that I was not convinced. Like, this is not a mistake, but this is something that you can do better, I would say. Like, maybe know what you want and pick something that you want from the beginning, do it from day one. But obviously, like, another career mistake is the thing that I just mentioned, which is just focusing on, okay, I want to see what companies post a job, what the jobs I can find on LinkedIn. This is another mistake. Another mistake is just, like, not, like, I would say, for me, like, looking for a job is a sales job.
Yeah.
Like, me, I'm lucky because I'm also working in sales. But in the end of the day, applying for a job is selling yourself. You need to sell yourself. You need to convince someone that you are the right person. They are investing time and money to onboard you. They are investing money to pay your salaries. You need to convince them why they should do that. So basically, you need to know exactly what are your interests, what is your knowledge, what are you gonna what value are you gonna bring to the company. This is something that is really important. Like nobody's gonna hire you just because they see your CV and they like your CV. Like, the same for, like, I don't think this still exists, but the cover letters, nobody reads them because they are on AI, all of them now. Like,
Yes.
everyone is using AI. Like, You need to show your work. You need to talk about your networking. You need to talk about your knowledge, and this is basically how you go out there.
Can I complete that?
Go ahead.
Uh, I 100% agree with you. And even though if you going to use the LinkedIn, I don't know, of course, in the whole environment, but in esports, I would say that 80% of the jobs in LinkedIn are not in the job sections. It's someone posting as a post.
Exactly.
If you are going to the job section and say and looking for, I don't know, esports, maybe you are going to find one or two opportunities. The other ones are or in the post or in like websites for
Hmm.
gamers.
Or
Uh,
nowhere, or nowhere.
or maybe nowhere, like you said. For
Secret quest,
example,
hidden
I
quest.
I received some proposal now because of the podcast that they didn't have the opportunity, but they like the podcast and say, "Hey, come here, do that for me, or do something for me because I like your idea." You know, I strongly agree with you. But even though if you want to, I don't know, focus on LinkedIn, which is not like the best strategy, looking for the posts, looking for the people, because like the job searching, I think it's because it's paid. I don't know. I have never seen, but no one is using anymore. It's like everything in the post, and the other thing about LinkedIn that I learned in the years is that the biggest and the best part of LinkedIn, it's because it's hard for you lie. You can say like, I don't know, I am the best one about data in Europe, but when you are going to see, you have no interaction with no one, you don't know anyone, so they know that you are lying.
Exactly, exactly. And like talking about your podcast, I think this is one of the biggest example because I don't know. Maybe there is some billionaire that is sponsoring your podcast, and we don't know. But in my opinion, like this, you are making this podcast not to make money, but to make
Yes,
connections, which
right.
will at some point make some money for you, obviously.
But this is
So
this is something that sometimes makes me crazy because I am getting some guesses that they are really good, like you, like the CEO of me, MBR, like Made in Brazil. Then I got knowledge of them. Then when I see someone doing something bad, I say like, "Oh my god!" Sometimes be stupid is nice. You don't know the things that they are doing wrong.
exactly, exactly. So yeah, like one advice to people: do podcasts like Marcelo. So this is
No,
something that that can easily get you a job anywhere.
no, you can do like I'm not getting anything about that. I really I'm spending money. I'm not receiving any money off the podcast.
I know.
It's
Trust me.
just in like for the knowledge and networking, and maybe one day I see what I do. But
Perfect,
thank you very
perfect.
much, Jonathan. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure having you in the podcast.
Likewise, likewise.
If you have something to say for the public or any message, it's time.
Yeah, no, like as I mentioned, we are planning to do a big launches in our company, like new features, new product, and stuff like that. So stay tuned, and you never know. Maybe with new product comes new opportunities as well. So maybe we will be hiring. So you if you follow me on LinkedIn, you will be able to know everything about it.
Right. So thank you very much, guys. Jonathan, if you can stay here just a little bit more, but thank you very much, everyone. Today you have one more episode with Guy. He is like the project manager, if I'm not crazy, from Gamers Club. So thank you, guys, and see you.
Thank you.